This is the Art Beauty Podcast where we tell the real truth about the fake shit. I'm Amber, and today my gorgeous and fabulous, and you probably already know her, host is Teni Panosian. She is the founder of Monday Born. She is a fabulous content creator, over 500,000 followers on Instagram. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Amber.
It is so great to have you. Now, you're in LA.
Yes.
And we were just talking a little bit off camera. I was like, oh my gosh, New York is so great right now because it's 70 degrees. And you're like, I know it's cold like that here too.
We're both here.
And I feel like, now, are you from LA originally?
Not originally. I grew up here since I was 5, but I was born in Tehran.
Okay.
And then my family moved to Greece for a few years, and then we came to the US.
Where in Greece? I love Greece.
I think it's nowhere exotic.
Yeah, but you know what? Athens is, its own fabulous place. I was so surprised when I was there that really all of the ruins and all of that history is like right in the downtown of the city.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I thought that, like, I've heard that about Egypt too. I haven't been, but that if you're in Egypt, like that the pyramids, it's not like you have to like travel far into the desert. It's like right in the middle of the city.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Very cool. I mean, Greece to me is like so beautiful. All the people, all the food. It is, I think, one of my favorite places.
Oh.
I mean, can we just?
Yeah,
I know. Well, listen, I want to say thank you and welcome. And I think it's time for me probably to consider moving west because I hate the cold. We're going into this cold weather now. And I'm just like,
nice and cozy here. It's comfortable. It's never like that biting cold,
I mean, because it doesn't snow there.
No. I mean, the worst we get is rain, maybe, I don't know, 6-7 times throughout the winter.
That's what everybody tells me about LA, but I have to tell you, the handful of times I've been there, it's rained every time. So I don't know if y'all are lying or if you're just drinking the Kool-Aid or what's in the water, but I'm like, maybe I just bring the rain. Oh, sorry to everybody there. So, I mean, I love going on your Instagram. I love watching your tutorials. How did you get into beauty?
Well, unofficially, art. I've been drawing and painting my whole life. And I was never a makeup artist. It's funny. People would ask me all the time, do you take bookings for weddings? And I'm like, I wish I could. I just do not have the training to do makeup on people. It really just came from my art background. So it's just a different canvas. And in high school, I would do dance competitions with my team. And that would be, the time where I could really go crazy with like a very intricate purple eyeshadow and like a really crazy makeup look. So that's kind of where I discovered that I really love makeup. And then of course the ladies at the Sephora, local Sephora, they knew me by name eventually because I was in there all the time.
Isn't that so great? I mean, I feel like I didn't grow up with that kind of a makeup. I was born in the late 70s, but I feel like Sephora wasn't a thing until, I was out of college already. Yeah. But I feel like if that was in my teenage years, I would have basically moved in.
Oh, right. Yeah. I think for me, it might've been like the very end of my teens, but it was just like, it was a field trip every time for me. And I was so excited because I'd be in there reading these labels and, reviewing products. And that's kind of how it got started. It wasn't really like this is what I wanted. This is a trade I want to learn. It was just a passion for art.
And so then you took that passion and you started this blog. Yeah. It's interesting because I feel like I've seen from, again, looking over everything, you've really kind of shifted into like away from like this makeup and I mean, you do makeup beautifully and you do your own makeup stunningly, but I see even right now, I mean, it looks like you really are no makeup. I mean, God bless you. You are beautiful. But why do you think, what was it that sort of made you make that shift?
I think it was a couple of things. One is just, as you mature, for me personally, I think everybody has this entitled to do whatever they want. I just feel, more makeup tended to age me a little more. So, the more fresh I am in the face, the more youthful it is and the more comfortable I feel, honestly. And the other part of that is just embracing, I grew up, as an immigrant in this country, I grew up really trying to assimilate. In college, all my teammates were blonde and beautiful. Yeah. And so I started dyeing my hair and I worked, in high school, I wore contact lenses and I made my eyebrows really thin. So now embracing my, my cultural beauty, with my natural hair color, my, thicker eyebrows, and deeper complexion. It's just more, I think, more for me suited to like a more minimal makeup style.
Isn't it funny though? I feel like just, I feel like you would now be the standard that every woman is kind of going after, right? With the thick brows and that dark, thick, gorgeous hair and that beautiful olive complexion. I mean,
Talk
but
about
it's
full
funny,
circle.
right? It is, and it's funny. Like my mother always used to tell me, "You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. Just wait." And I was the same thing. I wanted to be, like the blonde hair, blue eyed girls in my class. But now it's like, uh-uh. I'm really
No.
happy being me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so okay, so you have now kind of gone into this like really comfortable in your own skin.
Mhm.
What were some of the things that helped you make that transition?
I mean, really, you have to look at the pop culture transition itself,
Yeah.
I know people love to, trash her, but whether we like it or not, Kim Kardashian really brought that look into, pop culture, and it snowballed into, exotic was like, and I know people don't like that word, and I understand that. So I think we'll just say ethnic features.
Oh,
It became, something to embrace.
I've interviewed Kim before, and I think that she is just the loveliest and
Yeah,
smartest woman, and like haters gonna hate.
sure.
Um, but listen, but the Kardashian effect is real. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah.
Um, that is incredible, and God bless that entire family. So let's talk a little bit about. So you now have this skincare company, Monday Born. Tell us about that.
It's for years, my audience on YouTube and Instagram, they'd be asking me, so when are you going to start your own makeup line? Because that's what everyone was doing in the beauty space, popping up here and there with makeup lines. And I was almost embarrassed to be like, I don't want one.
Okay.
I was like, I don't want to do a makeup line. That's just not where my passion is. I knew I would eventually go into product, but I needed it to be just the right opportunity and just
Mhm.
the right category. And skin was it for me. That's something I'm just so passionate about. That's something I could learn about every single day for the rest of my life and still be
I mean,
passionate about it.
same,
You know?
same
Yeah.
here. Yes. This is why I do
Very
this. Yeah.
stimulating and very, it's good education to have. So I knew that was it for me. So I kind of started to get people comfortable with the idea of skin instead of makeup.
Right. And I mean, your skin is stunning. And I have to say, too, that's a very brave choice because I've worked in sort of all aspects of beauty in my career, and skincare can be a tough sell because it's not like so color. I used to do QVC, and color is very easy because it's like, look, here's this girl. She's got acne. Now we have this foundation, no acne. Or look, her face is red. Now look, no redness. Or wow, now we're going to really pop the eye. I mean, it's instant. Color cosmetics are instant. A makeup line is instant. Skincare, on the other hand, despite the fact that they call instant this, it's not. It
Sure.
takes time and commitment, and using it. So where did you even begin? You're like, okay, so you decide you want to go into skincare.
Mhm.
Where does somebody begin?
I knew that skin would be challenging. That was a given. I knew it wasn't going to be this instant payoff that you could see and be like, yes, I want that. For me, it was going to be riding on my audience's faith in me, my
And
trust.
trust. Well, yeah, you
Yeah,
had that trust there.
exactly.
Correct.
And that's, I still hear that to this day, when new launches come out, I'll get comments and DMs saying, I expected nothing less from you. Like I knew this was going to be,
Right.
because they just know they've been with me for so long and they know that first of all, I cannot sleep at night if I am not being as ethical as I can possibly be if people spend their paychecks on these products. So
Right.
if I'm not, putting something in front of you that I truly believe in, I cannot sleep at night.
Well, I feel like you see that shift a lot more because as the consumer has gotten more power and more access, and there are
Yeah.
people, entrepreneurs like yourselves who we interview all the time, you know, it's not just we're not just having to go on what the big, Estee Lauders of the world are telling us are good. But your name is literally behind this and people trust you.
Mhm.
So I'm sure that you really wanted to make sure that you have this audience who's faithful to you, and you
Yeah.
know how finicky that can be. So how did you actually go about like launching and starting this line?
So, part of what I always said, I don't want to do this unless I can do it differently, unless I can bring
Mhm.
something new and fresh to the market that hasn't been done before. And that's exactly what we did, and in two different ways. One, we really involved my audience in the process. I think they got really excited about, helping us pick the formula, helping us choose the packaging, really bringing them in. And I think that one thing we hear a lot too is thank you for being transparent
Yeah.
in a business where everything is kind of done behind the scenes, and then this perfectly packaged product comes out. You have no idea how we got to this point. I think they really enjoy, and like you said, people are really savvy now. They're very knowledgeable. They can smell a gimmick from miles away.
Right.
So we're very, very, good about just being, even when we mess up, I'll get on, I'll talk to people just very, very candidly, like, this is what happened, didn't work out, we're going to do this now,
Oh, yeah, sure, of course. Now, when you talk about people helping pick the formula, how did that go? Because packaging is one thing, right?
Yeah.
Go on here, vote for this. What do you like? How
Yeah.
do you get your audience involved in the formula?
This is also a first in beauty. This is something we do. We started with our second product.
Okay.
The first product we asked about sensitivities, allergies, things like that. But with the second product, we actually started sending lab samples out
Oh,
to a small group
cool.
of people. So we asked people to submit forms. We wanted a range of age, complexion, skin types, sensitivities. So we picked a group based on that range to test out on all different skin types, to really come up with like a well-rounded product. And just as we tried lab samples, they got lab samples, and then we
Oh,
just
that's
had it just like
awesome.
this on Zoom about it.
Okay. So what was the first product that you made? Because you have a very limited line. Is it 6 products?
5.
5 products. Okay, 5 products, but one of them is like the dual cleanser.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so five products, but one of them is a dual,
Correct.
is like a 2-step. Okay, so
Yeah.
what was the first product?
The very first product, my first baby, was Rebirth, and it's
Okay.
a lactic acid serum. And that I wanted to make a big splash with
Okay.
our very first product, and it's very transformative to skin, but it's also it's actually designed for sensitive skin types.
Okay.
So any texture, fine lines, redness. I mean, with the before and afters we've seen from people are kind of mind blowing.
Oh, really? Don't you
Yeah.
love that? That to me
Oh,
is like the best when you get somebody's feedback. I get to work with New Beauty, and so I do a lot of stuff with them. And when I hear from people at home and people who watch the show who love it, it's so wonderful. It makes all of this worth it.
yeah.
And so what is in all fairness and all disclosure, I've not tried any of your products.
Well, we got to
So
keep that. We'll come over to you.
but no, but I like that because it keeps it, we keep it real here. And so the lactic acid, so that is it like a toner?
No, it's a serum.
It's a
So
serum.
it's in
Okay.
a dropper. Yeah. So that's, and that's something so funny because Western skincare is so different from, because we produce in Korea and they have a very different approach to skincare. It's much more minimal, much more, in America, we want instant gratification. We want to wake up the very next morning with a
Listen,
brand new face. And it's just not sustainable. It's not realistic. So I tell people, do not use Rebirth more than 3 times a week. Some people even use it once a week.
oh, okay. So this is not meant to be used every night.
No. And it's funny because they see such good results and they'll DM me and be like, can I please use
Yeah.
this every night? I'm like, don't do it. Trust me.
Don't. Yeah. Cause you don't want to break down the skin barrier too much, right? You want to encourage gentle exfoliation. Got it. Okay. Listen. Okay. So use it once every 3
Yeah,
times a week.
I'm okay with 3 times a week. My skin can tolerate that, but no
Right.
more than that.
Got it. Okay. And this is so your first product was Rebirth. This
Yeah.
was like the coming out. What's behind the name? Why'd you call it Rebirth?
It just made sense based on what it does. It's like brand new skin. It's like
Okay.
you're stepping into this new renewed skin. That is really what it does. I mean, the
Okay.
reputation that Rebirth has is and not from us. It's not a hashtag that we created or anything, but our community started calling it magic in a bottle.
I love that. Okay. I love that. All right. And so the second product, which was the one that you were sending lab samples out, what was that?
Source. It's our Hydrating Essence. It's made with 79% Centella asiatica, which for centuries has been used for like burns and wounds.
Where does that come from? Centellia? Believe it or not, I've never heard of that.
Asiatica comes from Asia, and it's
Okay.
been widely used in Eastern medicine. Like I said, for like scars and burns, things like that. It's called gotu kola. It's called tiger grass. It comes with different names, but it's just this beautiful little green, like on a long stem.
Yeah.
I actually drew it on our packaging. That's another way I add my personal touch. I draw on our packaging.
That's awesome. It's bringing back your art. Oh, I love that. It's really injecting yourself into your products. And listen, this is why, going back to what we were saying before, I love learning, because here's an ingredient I've never, ever heard of.
It is magical. I love it. It's one of my favorites.
Isn't it amazing too, when you go back, it's funny. I feel like these days, listen, there are chemically derived products and ingredients that absolutely work, but there's also natural ingredients that are really, really powerful.
Chemicals get a bad rap. There's no need for that. I mean, chemical doesn't mean bad.
Right. It doesn't mean bad. But also, like, naturally derived ingredients also can be uber powerful.
Oh yeah.
So this was Centellia one more time.
Centella asiatica. You can call it Sika too, like for short.
Oh, that's what it is. So I've heard of Sika, of course, and that's why the green. Okay. Well, you see, listen, you can teach an old dog new terms. All right. Okay. Got it. Sika. Okay. So yes, Sika, which is very, very healing. Of course, and really good for the skin barrier. So, okay. So this was your second product.
And it's funny because when we did our Monday Born experience for Source, which is the Hydrating Essence, we discovered something, and this is something that I hope continues to happen with us, because it was just kind of mind blowing. One of the girls in the group, she was like, I'm having a reaction and I don't know why. I'm getting like these little bumps. And I was like, we need to get in touch with our lab. We need to get to the bottom of this. I can't have this happening to anybody who uses Source, because everybody else was like, this is spectacular. We love it. So I wanted to get to the bottom of it. And it turns out that a lot of people are sensitive to coconut derivative.
Yes.
And coconut derivative is, especially in clean beauty, is in so many products. So that was like a major discovery for us, that, a lot of people are either sensitive or full-blown allergic to coconut derivative, which is in so many products. So we remedied that by finding a synthetic form of that. So replacing it with something else, she no longer had the reaction.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And I want to mention too, now that this is a clean beauty brand, correct? Yes. Okay. Which is like,
clean. Listen, I don't like to say clean so much, because I know it is such a marketing term, but all you have to do is just look at our ingredients list or our formulations. We're good.
Gotcha. But listen, hey, fair. I'm glad that you're, bringing that up. Before we get into more on the products, there's an interesting company. So you're part of this, and please forgive me. Is it Beaubble?
Yes.
Beaubble. So like a beauty bubble.
Yes.
Okay. Right. What is, I was fascinated when I heard this. What is Beaubble?
So they are my partners essentially in Monday Born. They're an incubator for, people like me. And right now, they've actually just launched 2 new girls in a smaller experience. But this is just what they do, is they facilitate people like me, content creators in the beauty space, who have, aspirations of having a products line.
Wonderful.
So they can do anything from skincare to beauty for makeup. So they are really, they're kind of like the parent company here, and they're handling mostly like the fulfillment of the product. And Monday Born is kind of just, it's part of that.
Wonderful. And then you can focus on like development, on talking to the audience, being the front face of this. I love this. So what was this? There was something about a drop model. Can you explain that to us?
So that's another way we are sort of doing things differently. I was very excited and scared, because we do live in an Amazon age where, you order something, you get it a day or 2 later, So I was a little bit skeptical about how people would receive this, but thankfully it's been well received because of the benefits, which I'll explain. So what we do is we open a drop for, I don't know, anywhere from 3 to 5 weeks. Within that drop, people have the opportunity to place their order, claim their product. So it's almost like a pre-order. Okay. So within that time, they have the opportunity to place their order. And as we get closer to the end of the drop, we estimate what number of orders we're about to get.
Sure.
we let our lab in Korea know, hey, you should prepare this many. This is what we need right now. And they'll send it over. So that satisfies two things. One, we don't have like a huge purchase order of like 75,000 products that sit in a
Right.
warehouse for more
Paying for
than
the
2 years.
warehousing and all that.
Not just that, but the efficacy of the product. If
Yeah,
it
and
sits
it's
in a
not,
warehouse for that long or on a shelf, the efficacy decreases. And sometimes, I mean, I've had people reach out and say, I got a product one time from a brand that was past its expiration, and I reached out to them and they said, oh, it's good for another 6 months. I don't know about that.
but it's like, I don't want to use that. I
Right.
like, send me what I paid for, which is something new. And I think that people don't realize like how long some of this stuff can.
Exactly. And that's something we kind of brought to light a little bit because I don't think anybody ever thought about this before. This isn't something we thought about, shelf life, expiration. So you're getting the freshest possible batch
Oh
with
my God.
this
It just like
bottle.
brings me back to like, grandparents who are like, it still smells okay. And you're like, it's like orange. This
Well,
white cream now is
it's like
like,
efficacy. It may not do
yeah.
anything bad to your skin, but it's probably not doing anything good anymore
Well,
either.
and
So
we talk about that a lot with vitamin C, right? So I'm like vitamin
that's
C,
a tough
I
one.
love, but the second that it turns brown,
Oxidizes, yeah.
it's not doing what you want it to
Which
do.
is really when you open the bottle.
When you open the bottle, it starts to oxidize.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're really big on certain bird. Okay. So I love this. I love that you've got this. It's limited. It's efficacious. You mentioned that your products are coming from Korea. We're living in this time right now where we're hearing of these supply chain issues. Are you feeling that?
Well, we did. I mean, I don't know if you know, but we launched right along with COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, we kind of made our debut at the
Well,
same time.
but you know what? For skincare, listen, scary. And certainly I'm sure the first 6 months, but then I feel like skincare didn't it really kind of boom during COVID and
Yes,
at
it did.
home?
It absolutely did. Yeah, definitely did. And we did have the issues with sourcing ingredients,
Yeah.
less planes, less this, less that.
Less
So
people in the factories producing and less in the labs in Korea being able to do. Yeah. Ugh.
those were the moments where I was like panicking. I was like, they've already waited so long.
Oh,
Know?
no, you hear these stories and it's like, ugh, but you survived that, and you've thrived through that.
Yes.
And okay, so we've talked about the first two products. What else we've got? And then I know we have the dual cleanse. Well, okay. What was the third one?
The third product is I just love this product so much. It's called the 7, and it's our complete moisturizer. And I didn't want to just make a moisturizer that was really hydrating and moisturizing. I wanted it to do more. So I called it the 7 because of these 7 key ingredients that it has in it. Sea grapes is at the top of the list. Sea grapes is, I mean, if you look at the people who farm them, they have the softest hands.
Okay.
It's really, and I actually bought some and they consume it too. It's like a salad.
Where I've never even heard of a sea grape. So where?
They're called green caviar too. So it's that they're like these little balls. They're very crunchy and salty.
Okay.
I loved it. It was good, but they consume it too. It's actually good
Okay.
for you. So we have sea grapes, 2 types of kelp, ginseng root extract, which is Panax root extract, which has been used in Korean skincare for so long, and it's got science behind it.
Right.
And then beyond that, we want just the traditional, barrier products like squalane, ceramide NP, glycerin. So it's like a mix of both healthy aging and just really hydrating and moisturizing.
Can I ask you, as you were launching these, how long between each one? Like, did you?
A good while. I never wanted to have this like 25 product line. I
Right.
wanted to be really intentional about every single product that we launched. So I think it must have been like at the very least 3 months before we announced a new product. Yeah.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is really something that you've been involved in developing,
Yeah.
and a slow rollout of the line. So
Yeah.
we've got this serum, we've got this beautiful moisturizer. We have the lactic
The
acid
essence.
serum,
Yeah.
the essence.
Uh-huh.
What else was number 4?
So the fourth launch was our cleansing duo, which
Got it.
we kind of went back and forth. Are we going to do a cleansing balm? Are we going to do a cleansing oil? Because, just a cleanser, launching a cleanser just wouldn't make sense for us, because, you've got sunblock on. A lot of times sunblock is not water soluble. Not all the time, but a lot of times that's the case. And then makeup, especially eye makeup,
Yeah.
you can't use suds on that. You can't use a wipe on that.
Right.
Always for years, ever since I discovered the Shumara oil back in like my early 20s when nobody was oil cleansing. I was like, this is it. I would never use anything else to remove my makeup. Like
Really?
oil is where it's at. Yeah. And
Is
I mean,
that, yeah, we're going to share some of your like other products that you love after
yeah,
this,
for
just to
sure.
keep it real.
For sure.
I use the Shumera hair oil.
Ooh,
I don't know. It's the only oil. Like I love Orbe products. I'm a huge fan of theirs. Their Gold Lust oil, it's too thick for me. The
is it?
Shumera oil, hair oil, literally goes in your hair. It makes it so shiny. I did not use it today, but it doesn't feel greasy at all. It
Ooh.
is such a beautiful tip. But okay, I'm gonna have to try their face oil.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, people I think for the longest time were turned off by the idea of putting an oil on your face because we just didn't have that education out there. But
Right.
this is what they do in Asia. It's like is
Yeah.
oil cleansing and then obviously following with a gentle cleanser after that. So that's what we did is we created a dual set. So one is an oil and one is a very gentle hydrating cleanser.
Beautiful. It is a beautiful product. And then the fifth one,
That's it. Those are the two.
those are the two, no, and sorry. So it was the 5 products, the 2 cleansers.
Make up the fourth and fifth.
Got it. Okay. Okay. So I was right. Okay. So I was thinking that it was 5 and 6, but that was 4 and 5.
Yeah, 4 and 5.
Okay. So, but like a very, very tolerable, easy to use line and
Yeah,
very streamlined.
very minimal. Like I said, I don't want to create anything that isn't going to benefit skin and, you can't, that doesn't produce really, really good results. I don't want anything that's underwhelming.
So do you think you're going to come out with anything else? Is there
Yeah.
anything else in the works?
Yes.
Can you give us can you give us a little bit of a hint?
Sure. One of them, so this product is something that people ask us for a lot, but it's something that takes a very long time to develop because it's about protection.
Okay. Got it. Okay. We're thinking like an
That's the best hint I
SPF,
can give you.
maybe.
And yeah, but we're doing that also differently. The form is different. So
Oh, I'm such a sunscreen gal. I put it on every day, even that when I'm not leaving this house. It's so important. Okay. Oh, I
so I'll
cannot
tell you
wait.
what's different about it is it's going to, if we can nail this, it's going to make reapplicate, because who reapplies?
You need reapplication. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with you. Thank
It's going
you.
to make reapplication much easier.
Is it a spray? You can't. Oh my gosh. When is it launching? I'm so excited for this.
Well, we're hoping for summer 2022.
Okay. If you need somebody to test, send it over here. I will totally listen. Cause I'm so big on sunscreen. So now I'm 42 years old. I used to do tanning beds.
Yeah.
I used to do baby oil and sit outside. Yeah. I dated a guy whose mother used to mix up like baby oil with carrots.
What?
You turn really orange.
Oh
yes, I know. It was like a Colombian thing that was, I'm like, all right, sure. But hey, listen, we do what we do. I'm such a huge fan of sunscreen, and you're right. The reapplication is very, very tough.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what's difficult about it is, in America, we have different approved filters than we do in Europe and Asia. And it's a shame because people are so sensitive to chemical filters here. And there's such a wide range of chemical filters over there that we've tested, and they're so good. But unfortunately, we could not call that product a sunscreen or an SPF here.
Because that needs to be actually regulated.
But the problem is with physical sunscreens for people who have a deeper complexion, whatever, it doesn't matter how you formulate it, it's going to leave that white cast.
It's
like
horrific.
My complexion is probably the deepest you can go.
Yeah.
Even mine, like I testing out, I'm like, I see it. I see that zinc. It's
yeah. Listen, even mine, I'm like, I've got pretty light complexion. And my husband's Irish. So when I put it on him, you still white. Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Nobody likes that. So that's the challenge here. This is what, I really want to nail this product because so far,
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I've had a couple good ones. There was one by Kula that was a spray. Okay. That just smelled nice. And it wasn't like that. It was SPF 18 though. It was meant for reapplication. Like it was.
Sure.
And it smelled nice. And it's like, but it also had the coconut in it, which you said was, couldn't be. And then the other one who I think has done pretty good for summer is Supergoop
Oh
has
yes,
I love their unseen. That's what I wear every day.
yeah.
And then they've got a mineral powder
Oh,
reapplication.
I've seen the stick. There's a stick too that I see people really like.
I haven't tried the stick. This is like it's like it looks like a little powder application. It looks kind of like it's got a brush on one end, and then
Yeah,
this is filled with like, the
gotcha.
tinted powder.
Yeah,
Um, and it's great for like if you're at the beach and you're sweaty anyway.
yeah, yeah. I like that.
But it's adding more make, like it's like kind of like putting on powder. So powder creases and all the things that come with it. Oh, I
Yeah.
cannot wait to see what you come up with, girl.
And it's like I said, sunscreen's a tough one because of, we're talking about sun protection. And
Yeah.
for a lot of people, that means the difference between, extremely damaged skin and
Right.
some people some people are allergic to the sun.
Right.
So we're taking this very seriously and really taking our time.
Oh, I loved. I'm very excited to see what you come up with. And then what is the last one? I mean, oh yeah.
This one will actually come out before sunscreen, but we're kind of moving past the face.
Oh, okay. The body stuff. I love it. Good.
Yeah.
What about an eye cream?
That's also something we've talked about. And, eye cream is something that, for years, I've always said is very much optional. Only if you really, really like an eye cream, use it. Otherwise, for me, it's been hard to find one that actually makes an impact. So
Right.
that's something else. That do we use a retinol? Do we use, it's something that we're really, diving deep into, because I don't want an eye cream to just be a moisturizer.
Right. Can I say something with, I'm not going to offend you,
Please.
but so I feel like when I was young, again, I've worked in beauty forever, and I'm assuming
Sure.
you're significantly younger than I am. But I was always like, you don't really need it. You don't really need it. You don't really need this. Girl, when you hit 40, you're like, you know what? Eye cream and neck cream. I was like, do I need them? I don't need a separate thing. And I'm like, you know what? You kind of
You can't
do,
make
because
the
this,
difference.
I think it does. I
Okay.
was using this neck cream
Hmm.
by Revision, and
Okay.
I was like, no difference, no difference, no difference. And I
Over
was
time.
seeing a dermatologist for something else. And in the before and after, I'm like, oh my God. She had done like some other stuff. And I'm like, oh my God. I'd done Althera. And I was like,
Sure.
this made such a huge difference on
Hmm.
these lines. And she's like, we didn't do that. It was the Revision skincare.
No kidding.
Got
Okay.
rid of the
Well, that's good
lines
to
here.
know. Then
So
it's a long the long game then. It's like
it
an over
was. It was a
time.
it was a 3-month difference. So also not instant, not
Yeah.
overnight, but
Well, see, the thing
look,
is, the problem is I get people asking me all the time, like, I have really dark circles under my eyes. What eye cream can I use? And I have to tell them, like, listen, if that's genetic, no
yeah,
eye
you
cream in
can't.
the world is going to get that off. You got to get an in-office treatment for that, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So I just want to, kind of temper the conversation about eye cream so that people don't have such crazy expectations.
I think you just hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Manage expectations,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
With
Absolutely.
anything. I feel like for some of these things, and again, like I said, so brave of you to go into skincare, because it's not instant. And
No.
it's like, this is all going to help and make a difference, but you have to be consistent. You
Mhm.
have to use it right. And you have to have a little bit of patience.
Absolutely, absolutely. And
I
it's
feel
funny because when I launched Monday Born, that's when I really simplified my routine. For a time, at least a year, I stopped using anything else. I stopped getting any in-office treatments, no, not even a facial, because I was like, I want to make sure that what I'm using is what's causing this change, not,
right.
that peel I got or that, I just use Monday Born. And when I simplified my routine is when my skin turned out to be the best it's ever been.
Isn't that
Simplify.
funny? I talk to women all the time, and they're like, I'm using this and this and this and this and this. I'm like,
Yeah. No
whoa.
10-step routines here. That's just
Well,
it's
also just sometimes the combination of things is like not good. And listen, your skin is stunningly gorgeous. It is
thank
stunningly gorgeous. So, just because I like to keep it real here,
you.
what are
Yeah.
some of the other products, that you do like
Ooh. In skin or makeup?
in skincare?
Skincare. Let's see. There's a lovely oil by Aeon. It's called their oil Elix.
Okay.
It is It's beautiful. I mean, the oils in there, the ingredient list is beautiful, and it just performs well. You know, I when I use an oil, I almost like it to have that, some oils are just a little too greasy for me. And this
Right.
one has just the right amount of like that touch of dryness, but not too dry.
I feel like I'm looking, it's funny. I've got your Instagram up here and there's a picture that you posted recently where it's like
Huh?
your side and your skin, it looks like it's glowing.
Thanks.
How do you find that you get that difference between greasy
Uh-huh.
and glow? Like what is, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes, absolutely. I think the difference is it's like a true hydration in your skin.
Yeah,
So it's not an artificial, like I'm gonna put something slick on here to make it look like that. It really just is my skin living its best life.
got it.
It's from the inside out, it's hydrated, the barrier is healthy, it's not compromised. For years in my 20s, I wanted that instant gratification to get the texture off of my skin. So I'd be doing that alpha beta peel every day. And then my skin got really leathery and dry. And
Yeah.
I learned the hard way. And then once you really just start being very gentle with your skin and thinking of your barrier as the most important thing to
Yeah.
protect it and not compromise it, maintain it, your skin will thank you because
I think sometimes we forget too, because it's like our skin is the biggest organ we have. You wouldn't be exfoliating your eyeball or your
100%.
heart or, all of
Yeah.
like a little bit of gentle, right? Because it's on the outside, but well said there. Um,
What else? What else
so
do I like in skincare? I'm trying to
and
think.
what about beauty?
Oh,
Makeup
makeup.
when you do wear it.
I love me a Tom Ford foundation. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
It, they make one called Shade and Illuminate that I love. And I mean, really anything from Tom Ford, I love. YSL Beauty, their mascara, their lip products are some
Their
of my
foundation.
favorites. Yes, the
They have
foundation
a
is
beautiful matte, like
excellent.
a foundation. It's like,
It's the All Hours.
what?
It's the All Hours foundation.
Yes, and
Yes.
it's so beautiful, and it has like this powdery matte
Mhm.
finish to it, which is really nice. We're actually going to have a makeup artist from Tom Ford Beauty on here
Woo!
soon.
Oh, great.
Yes,
Wait,
I'm working on that
you know
because
who it
I'm
is? Oh, you can't
super excited.
mention it.
I'm not going to yet, just in case he decides to back out. But
Okay, I think I know
I
that you said he. I think I know who it is. I
it's a
hope it is.
personal. It's like a friend of mine, so
Okay,
I'm
good.
hoping that he will
I think it's the same person we're thinking about. He's
come
cool.
on. Oh, we can talk about this afterwards.
Yeah.
And so okay, so Tom Ford, YSL. Anything else?
Yeah. There's a brand called Tower 28 that I like. Very easy, very like fun. Like their cream blush is great. I'm trying to think in my
What was your secret to growing your brows back? You said you like super
a lot of
time.
patience.
Yeah.
Patience and castor oil. Castor oil
Yeah.
definitely helps. If
Oh,
you take one of those disposable ones, just one of them, don't dispose them, but just use the same one and just brush it through your brows every night before you go to bed. Not too thick because it is very sticky. Yeah.
it is thick and it stinks.
Yeah. People
But
use
I
it
guess
in their scalp too.
I
Yeah.
know, God bless, but I was like, I tried. I got a
Yeah.
bottle of it and I was like, nope,
Nope.
nope,
Yeah,
nope,
it's a
nope,
lot.
nope,
It's a
nope.
lot.
But the patience is a
Yeah,
virtue, but we
patience.
all know
Gotta
waiting
wait
sucks.
it out. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to wait it out. Well, listen, I want to thank you so much for being on. Really, really excited for these new launches. Really excited to try these products. If people want to know more about them, if they want to purchase them, where do they go?
They can go to mondaybornbeauty.com or our handle on Instagram is just mondaybornbeauty.
Beautiful. And if you want to see Teni and all of her gorgeous, by the way, girl, some of the outfits you rock, I am like, God bless you.
Hey.
It is at Teni Panosian, Panosian.
Yes.
And I want to thank you. And of course, if you've got any questions you want me to pass on to Teni, I'm happy to do so. You can email me at hello@artbeautypodcast.com. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and of course here on YouTube at Art Beauty Podcast. And we will see you next Tuesday.